Hello and welcome to the Ramblecast. This week we have a special guest. Who is it?
This is JP from New Jersey filling in.
Nice. JP from New Jersey is here and he's going to sing our intro song. Hit it, JP.
Thanks a lot. No pressure on that one.
I kid. But we have
welcome to the Ramblecast.
We should FaceTime Nick and see if he picks up.
Yeah, do it.
What time is it in where the hell is he?
I believe he got
Iceland.
I believe he got the message. In the messenger chat, he's just ignoring.
Oh, dude, we're gonna FaceTime him.
If you don't know the other guy, he's in Iceland. That's why JP's here.
And I was told that we were going to learn the mystery behind the first two initials in JP's name.
I just figured that was his name.
Yeah, Jersey Popcorn or
Jersey Popcorn. That's exactly right.
I was thinking his parents were looking at when he was born and said, "Let's make it easy on him."
They looked down at me. They looked down at me and said, "Jalapeno pepper."
Well, what a son of a bitch! He's not going to answer.
No, they looked down and said, "Let's make it easy. He doesn't look like he's going to be a smart one. Let's just go JP with a name."
Nick Dunn, FaceTime unavailable.
It's like 2:30 there or something.
Unless he doesn't, maybe he doesn't have international service.
Well, they got McDonald's out there, don't they? Recycled joke. He had that joke last week.
What time is it in Iceland?
Mm-hmm. All the listeners think you're asking them.
Oh, it's 1:36 a.m. in Reykjavik, Iceland.
Oops. Sorry.
I know for Comic-Con he's still up. He's not an early one.
Sure, yeah, totally. And for all the times that
it could be in the early night.
Yeah.
He could be hiding from his mom.
Could be.
She could have a mask on.
All right, this is a little game we could play. At 1:30 a.m. in Iceland, what do you think Nick is doing?
I don't know what you can.
I'm gonna post that question on the Facebook page and see throughout the evening what type of responses we get.
Maybe he's trying to find the evil coach from the Mighty Ducks 2 movie.
Oh yeah,
because the Iceland team was so dirty. So maybe that's what he's doing, or maybe the blonde, the assistant. What was she? Team manager or something like that? I don't know. I can't remember. Come on, JP. You watch all the movies. What was it?
Well, he's traveling with his mom, or is he traveling with Dan? Because that could completely change my answer.
I'm talking about the Mighty Ducks movie. I wasn't talking. I was done with Nick.
Which one? The second one?
The second one. They play Team Iceland. That's when we get the Bash Brothers.
Oh, right. Oh, my God. I haven't seen that in years. Oh. You told me there wasn't going to be any trivia in this show.
It's not trivia. It's a Ramblecast. You got to be on your toes.
All right. The question has been posed on the Facebook page, so we'll come back to that
answer. So,
what's your answer?
Probably choking one out. So
I'm sorry. What?
Beating the heat. I don't know. It's 1:30 a.m. His mom's asleep. He's finally I got some alone time.
Well, I would implore you to add that option to the poll that has been recently created on the Facebook page.
Okay. Well, I don't mean to be crude.
Now it's 1:30 a.m. and 30 seconds. What do you think he's doing now?
Oh, he's definitely doing it.
He's done.
He finished.
No. Knowing Nick, he's still searching. No.
The South will rise again. The South will rise again.
You have to.
Maybe I will too, but the South will rise again.
So,
do they have a lot of Lincoln porn?
They probably welcomed him as
one of their own. Goodness gracious! So. Anywho, how's it?
Way to derail this, JP. Way to derail this.
Anywho, let's see.
Headshots, I assume.
How is it?
You want to FaceTime? I'll FaceTime you.
What do you guys been up to this past week?
Sweating. It's too hot here.
Sweating to the oldies, Jack.
Sweating to the oldies. Well, we went to the pumpkin patch. Our whole family went to the pumpkin patch yesterday.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, oh my God, it's gonna be in the high 80s. It was humid. I said, because we had a 2-month-old, an 8-month-old, and a 4.5-year-old. The 4.5-year-old, he's running around the thing like he walked in there sweating. He's like Jay. Jay sweats really easily.
Yeah.
So but Jay never ran. But Zach is running all over the place. I go, these kids aren't going to make it. Well, it was the adults that couldn't make it. The kids were fine. It was just so damn hot.
Oh.
Then we get on this hayride to go to the pumpkin patch, which was just pumpkins thrown in a. I thought it was going to be a real patch, like you go and cut the pumpkin off the vine. No, they just throw a bunch of pumpkins that they bought into it. I mean, it's a cool little place.
Yeah.
But if we get on the hayride thing, and Cindy goes to the guy, "Is this October?" And guy goes, "Yeah, it's October. It's the South. What do you expect?" I go, it was an older Southern guy, and I'm like, "Oh, he had a sense of humor." He's driving us great. I go, "I'm glad you made that joke and not me, because he hates you now and not me." But it was fun. We had a good time. There's some pictures on Facebook, but it was hot. But the pumpkins were crappy pumpkins.
Oh, it was so hot. Those pumpkins need that cool weather to really hot.
I guess, but it's supposed to cool off next week. But man, I'm done with the heat.
Hey, I heard this thing about climate change recently that's really depressing. About, I don't know, we got 12 years to turn this around.
12 years. So
2030, you're screwed.
I thought it was 24. I thought it was 2040.
No, 2030.
2030. Okay, so
that's 12 years.
In 12 years, I'll be 68. I won't even remember what temperature is. So
well, by that time,
it doesn't affect me.
Sooner or later it will.
What?
I always hate it when it's hot on my birthday. So my birthday was on Saturday. Celebrated it pretty low key. It was nice to have the family around the house. Usually the last couple of years, my wife has had parent teacher conferences, and I don't know, it just sucks. Yeah. Because then I'm just like, okay, kids, let's go to the pizza place and get some ice cream and good night. I don't know. It's really, just kind of one of those weekday birthdays. But this week it was a Saturday, so it was really awesome. I was like, all right, Saturday.
You should have your birthday on Saturday every year.
Well, I checked to see when the next time, and I got really depressed because it's in 11 years.
Well, we'll still be fine as far as the Earth goes.
Sure. Mm. So next weekend birthday party, 11 years, people.
All right, can't wait. I'm like you. I don't like when it's hot during my birthday.
You're in August, though.
Yeah, I know it's always hot. So
at least I have.
All right, we've got an Iceland poll update already. We've got 4 options. Option number 1, submitted by Brian, says mansplaining states' rights, not slavery, was the root cause of the Civil War. Option number 2 from Christy says that getting a good night's sleep without his childhood nightmare. Oh, wait, his mom's with him. He's getting the crap scared out of him. Option number 3, drunk playing the ukulele or whatever he's been playing lately, from Gregory. And Dan says looking for some Icelandic chick that he can feel superior to.
Whoa.
Oh, wow. That was Dan that said that.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and cast my vote for Christy. Yeah, he's getting the crap scared out of him.
Dan, that was an assault on a sexual assault level. Just an implied, too. I would resign.
To be fair, I don't think serial killers care.
Okay.
So in addition, our very own JP has just added an additional poll option. So there is now, 5 current options. And JP says he's asking his mom to take the Dan mask off.
That's some next level. Yeah. Some next level stuff.
Did I see Dan post some picture that they had some snow up there today?
I think he's traveling somewhere.
Oh, he's traveling somewhere. So
Dude, when is he not traveling somewhere?
And he's like hanging out with Alyssa Milano now, too?
Well,
yeah, saw that.
it would be foolish of him to stay local when you hide the bodies.
True.
That's true.
Yeah, that is
very true.
Well, that's where the whole serial killer thing came, because he's always on the move. I mean, that's what most serial killers are, travelers, aren't they?
I have no idea.
I don't know, but when the S goes south with this whole climate change stuff, I'm going to be hanging out with Dan because we'll be able to at least
painless.
It'll be quick.
Yeah, he'll just say, "Look at the flowers."
I don't know if it'll be Nick quick.
Sure,
but it'll be quick.
So wait, let me throw this at you though. So it's been really hot in New Jersey all summer.
Yeah,
and it's still hot too. So I'm living. As you guys probably
wait, is that one of the drawbacks of living in New Jersey?
Oh God, unfortunately, and the traffic.
Well, you know what? The very wise George Carlin once said, "Kiss her where it smells. Take her to New Jersey."
Anyway, JP, go ahead.
So I'm living at my mother's house right now since I'm homeless.
Does she have a mask?
Does she have a Dan mask? No. So I'm staying on the second floor, and all summer I've been running the air conditioning, and it just it'll never keep up. It just runs 24/7, and it like I'll come home from work, and it's like 86 degrees upstairs. It's just disgusting. But I kept saying to her, your electric bill is going to be out of hand. And she says, don't worry about it. It's been fine. So about a week ago, she gets a letter from the electric company. Our neighbor, Mr. Lee, complained about his electric bill being too high.
Wow.
Sure enough, they discovered, out by the meters, the cabling was switched. So Mr. Lee's he's been paying.
Wow. So even this whole time, wow.
So did you have to go back? Does she have to go back and pay the difference?
They're going to send her. They told her they're going to send her a revised bill, and she wants to argue it. Obviously we don't know when the cables were switched,
right?
But she said she's going to fight it. I've told her you really can't fight it. It's the electricity you used. You have to pay for it.
I don't know. I think she found a loophole.
I don't know, but I know Mr. Lee got a giant credit on his bill.
Well, she didn't switch the she didn't switch the cables, right?
Nah, she thinks
that you did it.
No. Hopefully nobody from JCP&L is listening, but she thinks it happened about 2 years ago.
Oh, my goodness.
2 years ago. So Mr. Lee's been getting screwed for 2 years.
Well, Mr. Lee just moved in, I think, in March or April.
Oh, so that's who was living there before?
I never met them, but, they moved out, I think, at the beginning of the year.
Because
Mr. Lee
their electric bill is so high.
That's
They're like, we're getting electricity.
And it sucks because we have solar panels.
Oh, man.
So I can't wait to see how this turns out for her.
So if the other people had never moved out, your mom would well, how did she get? So she wasn't getting any.
The less we put out there, maybe the better.
No, because now I got to know.
Oh,
was she not getting charged any electric bill?
And so will the electric company.
No, she was. I know she's on one of those budget plans, so she had a steady bill all year.
Oh, okay, all right.
But as far as what her usage was, it wasn't really fluctuating. And then I took a look at it still even when I came home. And like I said, the air conditioning was running 24/7. And month to month, you just didn't see that much of a drastic change in the usage.
I'm moving to New Jersey if that's the case.
Move next door to Mr. Lee.
Yeah. So was Mr. Lee upset?
I would imagine.
I would probably say so.
I'm saying with the electric company, but was he upset with your mom and you?
Oh,
he didn't come over here and yell and scream at us or anything. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Is there anything else you're stealing from Mr. Lee? His newspaper.
I got to change my Wi-Fi signal. Hold on.
Right.
Poor Mr. Lee.
Yeah.
Is Mr. Lee like? Is he older? Is he young? Is he?
Mr. Lee is probably, I would say he's retired. I've never seen him leave for work or anything.
So he's on a fixed income.
Probably.
And you're stealing electricity from him.
I would say if you're living in this townhome community, you're not really, you're okay.
Hearing much?
You're doing okay.
I was going to say that if you're living in New Jersey, you're either stealing from someone or someone's stealing from you.
Probably.
But that could be true anywhere in the U.S. at this point. So,
yeah, we're really bashing New Jersey.
What? I apologize.
Yes.
We can bash Indiana all you want because, I mean...
Oh, we will. It's only $9.50.
Okay.
You never do that. You never bash Jersey when Nick's on.
True, but we do bash the South a lot.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. And we also bash his current neighborhood, which seems to be riddled with crime because all we can hear is sirens when he podcasts.
That's L.A.
Yeah.
Fighting for L.A.
So I've got an interesting what the hell neighbor story. Nick's back from Iceland.
Yeah.
I came prepared.
Well done. So I mentioned...
or his mom walked in on him.
JP just has like a necklace around his mom that does that signal the whole time.
Ma! So, as you guys know, my house, I'm in the process of selling my house.
Oh, yes. How is that going?
Well, it is the single largest source of stress in my life right now. And here's why. So over the past few weeks, we spent a lot of time and a lot of money getting things ready, right? So I spent all this money, the cleaners, getting dumpsters, the whole nine, getting the place looking great. I showed you guys the pictures. My house is literally the cleanest it's ever been since I moved in. House looks fantastic. And we had I had, I think, 5 private showings before the open house. And then we had our open house on yesterday, Sunday. Is yesterday Sunday? Yeah.
Yes.
Yesterday was open house. And we had 16 different parties come through and have a look, which is pretty good. So let's hit the rewind button real quick and let's go back to Saturday. And I come home from running various different errands and I see a surveying company out in front of my house. And I'm like, interesting. And I get out. He's like, hey, you got a minute? I'm like, I come over. I'm like, yeah, my neighbor's there. And he's like, hey, so we're just doing a quick survey because your neighbor here is looking to reassess their home so they can refinance, and they wanted to get it done before you sell your house so we can have everything all squared away. I'm like, okay. He's like, we have a little bit of a problem here. I'm like, what?
Oh God, I don't know.
So time out, and let's fast forward rewind again 6 years. So 6 years ago, I bought this house, and in the side of my house, there's this gravel and dirt area. Well, there's a parking area. So during the winters here, it gets a little brutal from the ice and snow and stuff. So I said, I'm gonna pave this son of a bitch. So I hired a company to come in. They paved over it. Got myself a nice 2-car driveway. Been using it ever since. Okay, fast forward back to Saturday. So here we are, back on Saturday, and he's like, yeah, so we're just shoring up some of these lines here for the lots, and this is what we found. And I look down, and I see a pin drop right there in the middle of the concrete they hammered down, and a couple of stakes going through my yard. I'm like, huh. Apparently, half of my driveway is on their property.
And do they want it back?
They did not disclose that, but they wanted to make sure that it was properly notated, so the people who were looking to buy the house could see it. And yeah, it is literally smack away. So technically, by law, I have a 1-car driveway.
Oh yeah, sure.
So now you have to disclose that too.
Yeah, have to disclose that, and I'm also, and we've got 2 people looking to put an offer on it, and they want to have further clarification on the driveway. And so now I have to speak with a lawyer tomorrow and get the proper legalese before I approach my neighbor, and hope and pray that they are willing to sign an easement that would allow the usage of the driveway that I paid for and paved 6 years ago. I've been using for the last 6 years, no problem. So yeah, here I am.
That's fun.
What's really strange about that story is the last time I spoke to Mr. Lee, he told me he had family outside of Boston.
And this is payback for your mother's electric use, you son of a...
What if Mr. Lee found out that actually he has an easement just above your mom's house there on just the 2nd floor, and that's why?
That would make her day, trust me.
So yeah, here I am. I'm in the middle of trying to sell my house because I have a deadline to sell my house. I have an offer that's pending on another home, pending the sale of this one.
Plans within plans, man.
And I have to have a signed purchase and sale within the next 4 weeks.
Oh,
well, how long is all this going to take to iron out?
That's a great question, Jack, and that is part of the unknown and part of the stress.
Well, anytime you get lawyers involved, sorry, Brian, but it's going to muck up the whole system.
I'm hoping for it to be smooth. I mean, my neighbors have always been super cool, very, very cool people. But when it comes to this, man, I guess all bets are off. At the end of the day, if the plot lines are right, it is what it is,
right.
And it was just never noticed until now.
A related story to my own life is that my neighbor Bob. He has an easement on our property, and we found out the moment we were ready to buy. Like, we're, with the realtor, the, title work is all drawn up and we're ready to sign. We find out, oh, by the way, your backyard here and the driveway is actually his. We're like, what? So he had to come in and sign this easement, right there, then and there.
Yeah.
Bob and I have been great friends, and I've lived in that house for 12 years. But I understand. I mean, neighbors can be a tricky, dicey situation because they really don't owe you anything. It's
and I'm in between a rock and a hard place at this point because I have to get something settled, and this is going to turn out one of 2 ways.
Right.
One way he signs that easement, and another way I get a backhoe in here and make him repave that mofo of his own self. So.
Right.
Yeah.
In case he decides to. Well, I can't, can I? No.
You can't dig it.
I'm sorry.
You can't dig it up. Well, I guess you couldn't dig it up on his property, could you?
Right. But I mean,
you could ask one of our podcasters, listeners, to maybe do it. Say, hey,
yeah, come on up and just face my property.
Wasn't me. I never said anything.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure there's a lot of white men have been on testimony saying really dumb shit, and excuse me, and it's all come back to bite them. So,
way to go, Matt.
But it hasn't really. So you can say whatever you want.
Yeah. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
We have a similar story. I've told this before, but when we first moved in, we live in a at the end of the street. There's vacant. It's like 3, 4, 5. I don't know how many acres. A lot of acres of land next to us. All these trees and stuff. So, but they had the sod. We put the fence where the sod went to. So we put a fence all the way up to where the sod was. Well, when the trees, the leaves, like right now, the leaves are falling and all that stuff. Fall's coming eventually because it should start cooling off. I looked. I go, what's that pink string hanging out there? I go. So I get out my thing. I go, oh crap! Our fence is 7 feet over on their it's not my property. So I said, well, you know what? I'm just going to leave this fence here until someone says something. Well, fast forward 17 years later, they're out here. They've been surveying this land for like 6 months. I know they're going to do this because they're just tearing out trees left and right here in Raleigh because so many people are moving here. I said, well, it's just a matter of time. I said, so they got us surrounded with all these different things with little But I told my wife today. In fact, I said today, I go, well, we're gonna do squatters' rights. I've been told, and I kind of looked it up. After 10 years, if you maintain the property, you have some kind of rights to it. So I'm going to fight it just because I don't want to have to move my fence, and I'd like a little bigger buffer. But I don't know if they're putting there, but we'll see what happens. But if anybody's out there knows the rules and the legal questions, but I think I have some rights. And technically, it wasn't my fault because they put the sod there. I just assumed that's where my property went.
Well,
is that a defense being stupid?
I suppose so. I don't know. I don't think being stupid gets you far, but maybe it does.
But is that a defense? That's what I'm saying.
As a defense.
You could plead insanity.
Well, obviously I have that.
Well, I hope the best for your situation there, Chris. So it's a tough one. So
yeah, it is tough. So, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
Will he do it because it would almost depend on the new neighbors, wouldn't it? What if someone buys your house and they're jerks and he signs over his rights?
Well, I don't think anything's going to get signed or offered until there's clarification on the situation. So,
is this a situation where you have to get a lawyer just to, or no? You're protected.
I don't know because I mean. I really have no idea. So I mean, the process that we're in is we want to get the hell out of here, right?
Yeah.
So
sure. So you're just kind of like, let's move this along.
I'm like, let's figure this out, right? And then, but the prospective buyers could say, oh, so it's only a one. I don't have access to park there. Then screw it, I'm out. I don't want to park on the street.
Or they want to knock price off your.
Let's not say that out loud.
Okay,
but that's another option too.
Okay.
But the other option is that maybe my neighbors will be cool about it and say, "Yeah, it's fine. We'll sign an easement for use." Maybe there's a time term associated with it or whatever. The good side is that there's land on the other side of the house that you could, if you needed to, pave a parking spot and have access to the back and the side of the house. But
is it where it is now? Is it something your neighbor can even use?
It could.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely could. Like, I'll actually pull up a picture of it right now so you guys can see it. And this is going to do wonders for our people listening at home, but whatever, screw you.
Wow. To the listeners.
Have I ever been anything other than transparent with how I feel?
Except sometimes.
So as you guys can see, my Jeep is parked on the left.
Ooh.
Oh.
A little point on the ground there.
Yeah.
Everything to the left of that is.
Whoever did the work did a nice job in that driveway.
Yeah, it did.
No kidding.
Years old.
Yeah. And so you came home to that too, that scene of like having
yes,
people
sir.
like, right.
Now,
here's a better picture without the survey equipment on there. You can see where the stick is behind.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Now, do your neighbors have somewhere to park on their other
They
side?
do. They've got a couple of spots, but they're crammed in there. They could definitely benefit from having another spot. But yeah, that's where I'm at.
That sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in cheerier news, what are you going to be for Halloween, guys?
In a meeting. Sorry, doom and gloom. I will be away on business for the entire week.
JP, what are you going dressed as?
I think I'm going to keep it simple. I had the idea of doing dressing as Clark Kent, but having like the Superman costume underneath where you can clearly see it's.
I feel like I've seen you in that costume.
I think I did it last year or 2 years ago.
So this is recycled?
Yes.
Yeah, they call that lazy Halloweening.
You could have mixed it up and gone Flash.
Yeah,
It's the glasses. You like wearing the glasses, right?
I can't run that fast anymore either.
Okay.
Yeah, anybody who's in the San Francisco area, I'll be in your beautiful city all of Halloween week, so maybe you can get a beer.
Ed.
I used to go as Angry Charger fan, but no one will buy it now because there aren't any Charger fans.
Well, I'm going as Han Solo. I don't think I can really pull it off, but I've got the belt.
If JP can pull off Clark Kent.
Yeah, and I got a vest, too. The vest was actually pretty cheap. I found that at Goodwill, so that was a pretty easy find. It was like score, but the belt cost me a bit. But it looks authentic.
See, all you gotta do is come up here to New England and get in line at a Starbucks. Now that pumpkin spice is now on the menu, and you'll find nothing but women dressed like Han Solo.
Really,
black vest, tight black pants, fluffy boots, with the pumpkin spice in their hand. We call it the Han Solo season up here in the Northeast.
Weird. Huh.
Are you going to be like Harrison Ford Han Solo, or the bad Han Solo?
Oh no! Don't even start with me on the Solo. That movie's actually grown on me. It's kind of been my go-to in the evenings sometimes when I want to fall asleep.
Did Shandy like it?
I have not talked to Shandy, and I don't think she's watched Empire Strikes Back yet.
I haven't seen Solo yet.
You should. It's good.
I will once it's on. Once it's on,
it is.
It is.
What's it on?
Stuff.
You can get it on iTunes.
You can buy it.
You can buy it.
Buy
You
it.
rent it.
Buy it.
Doesn't okay.
Stream it.
Stream it.
Probably Redbox it. If you...
Redbox. You still have those damn things out? Redbox.
Oh yeah,
they do.
It.
I'm watching Man in the High Castle. Man in the High Castle right now.
So I started watching that. I saw the first episode
Of the first season?
of the third season.
Oh, third season. Okay.
Think I'm gonna like it.
Yeah, I finished 3 episodes so far.
So I was one of those things where last night I started watching and I definitely fell asleep watching, not because it wasn't compelling, but I was exhausted and mentally drained.
It's a show you have to pay attention to.
Yeah, and I woke up like 4 hours later and I'm like, oh, I can't do this. I can't do this. Like I have my subconscious probably know, and I was like, I had to quickly turn it off.
That's a problem with Netflix and stuff like and like those Amazon Primes. They just keep going.
Well, that happened to me in season 2 several times in Man in High Castle. That show puts me to sleep. I have to have the lights on. I can't have the lights. If the lights are dimmed and it's like...
What are you afraid?
No, it's just, I just like the cinema effect, like just enjoying it. But it was in season 2, I fell asleep and I woke up and it was kind of groggy and I'm like waking up and all of a sudden like I see Hitler and I'm like, whoa, like I've jumped way far forward, And so...
Yeah, I've done that too because I fell asleep one time watching a show and it was on I think Netflix, and I woke up like 3-4 hours later. My computer's sitting there right on my lap, and I go, it didn't even dawn on me that I fell asleep. I go, what the hell is going on? I didn't realize the show. I was like 3-4 episodes ahead. Spoiler alert! Anyway, but I'm liking it. I'm enjoying it. I know a lot of people didn't like season 2. I like season 2. The only problem with these shows is. Mm-hmm. It takes so long for them to come back. I forget like half the people.
Oh yeah.
I go, who's that again? And I even watched the recap they do, but it's like,
right. It's like, oh, they had history. I forgot that they had it.
Yeah, it's like I don't know this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, he was one of the regulars. Okay.
We lost Chris, but JP, are you Man in the High Castle? Are you what is your streaming thing that you're watching right now?
Right now, I just re-binge watched Making a Murderer.
Okay.
Is he still guilty?
I think so.
Okay.
I have not watched that. I'm not really
Spoilers.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he's still guilty.
Well, they have the second season is coming out, I think, next week or in 2 weeks.
Okay.
So I wanted to. I think the first season was like 3 years ago.
Was it that long ago?
I want to say 2015. I think.
Wow. I know Jay and I did a podcast on it. I was just like a single.
Oh, like just a one shot.
Yeah, just a recap of the whole the way people call in and stuff like that.
Did you think he was guilty?
No, I didn't.
Huh.
See, I thought my take on it, even the second time now, is I think he probably did it, but I definitely don't think they had enough to convict him on it. And I do think they planted the evidence.
Yeah, I think they did too.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry I got disconnected because this computer's awesome. But I'm assuming you're talking about Making a Murderer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Full House.
Oh, yeah.
Did Joey do it or not?
That Uncle Jesse was always such a joker.
Uncle Jesse.
Who shot Jesse?
Dude, he totally did it.
I'm going to disagree. I just didn't think he did it. I don't think he was smart enough to do it. He wasn't smart enough to get rid of all the evidence that they said he did.
Yeah, I don't think he did it in the manner that they claim that he did, or that his nephew Brendan, that whole story that he told. I don't think it happened like that. But do I think he was somewhat responsible or did it? Yeah, probably.
I always shock the people like after like 10, 11 hours. I didn't do it. Yeah, okay, I did it. And they just start because they just get exhausted and stuff like that. But I don't know. I'm reading Chris's thing.
Well, I think Freddy Krueger is somewhere in the building. He's coming for us. So,
yep, it's Jack. Okay, cool. Whatever that was, Jack.
It's my fan.
Yeah, sounds like your fan is literally chopping up bodies right now.
Well, Dan needs Dan's paying a little extra for my services. You can podcast, chop a body up at the same time, multitasking. How many people can do that? I did want to ask JP something. Was it last week you posted? You were with Kelly from Saved by the Bell.
Oh yeah.
That was a really great. That was a really great picture of her.
I shook her hand.
And what was with her hair? Her hair looked like it was stuck to your face. Were you like grabbing it, or were you just so sweaty that to meet her?
Static.
I was trying to take it with me. Yeah, no, I went to. There was a book signing in North Jersey. She was selling her cookbook, which I'm sure I'm going to use. And
well, she has a cooking show, doesn't she? Cooking with Tiffany, something like that.
I don't know. Does she?
Boy, JP, talk about a fair weather fan.
Yeah,
I'm her number one fan.
Thanks for all the info.
Yeah, she does have a cooking show. I think I've seen it.
Yeah, after I told you.
But yeah, she was doing a book signing. There was definitely at least a couple hundred people there to meet her, which was pretty impressive. And sweet as hell, very nice. I had, my 30 seconds with her was amazing.
Wow,
it sounds about right.
Yeah.
I'm assuming all you guys had a crush on her.
Dude, I had. Are you kidding me?
I can remember playing poker because I'm older than you guys, and it was all people my age, and we're sitting there. The show was on in the background, and someone goes, "God, I have the hots for her," and we're like, going, "Dude, man, she's like a kid." But I guess back then she was she a kid back then?
Yeah.
That's kind of.
So we're like, dude. I mean, she's just. He goes,
well,
no, she's not.
On a kid's show, although I did watch the kids' show and had it, but I was a kid at the time, so
we're like, come on, that's not right. Yeah. That's not right, dude.
Right. It's the same. It's the same reason. Like, okay, Gilmore Girls, right? Like, I think that who's the young Gilmore girl on there? I can't think of her name.
I have no idea.
Younger Gilmore.
Well, she went on to be in Mad Men.
Yeah, I know. She's married. She's married to Pete.
Yeah, she's married to Pete in real life. Anyway, she's very attractive,
which is not his name.
But I like. She is not.
She's in Handmaid's Tale.
Right. Yeah. But when you watch her in Gilmore Girls, she's a kid. I would never be like, oh yeah, she's really hot. Blah blah blah. When I saw her in Mad Men, I was like, oh my gosh. But
so it was okay because she was older,
right? And we're also more the same age, So, and I didn't watch Gilmore Girls when I was
Well, Tiffany, she's my age. And I'm sorry, we're on a first name basis now. But
well, how old is she?
Tiffany is my age. She's 44.
44.
I don't look it.
I got 12 years on her.
Right. So, I mean, for me, growing up when I was watching that show...
She was 13 when she started the show.
I'm not saying we were watching... It was more towards the later years. I mean, she was probably...
Sure. No, it's okay. You don't have to cover for yourself, Jack.
It wasn't me. I disagree. I said, dude, man, come on.
No, it is. Yeah.
Jack, you had that one season of the college years to watch. That's fine.
So, Jack, I will say that... So She was young, dude. Like
it wasn't me.
So here's the thing: at her oldest age, while doing Saved by the Bell, not the college years, she would have been 16 years old. Nope, 18 years old.
18, yeah.
Even then, I would have said no.
Right.
No, and she was 15. I'm sorry, she was 15 years old when she started Saved by the Bell.
But a lot of these actresses, a lot of them are older. Like actors and actors are older on the show than they're playing. But again,
sometimes in the current CW shows, when you watch those, I mean, those actors always seem to be like 10 years older. So they get.
But she wasn't.
Right.
What was your favorite episode, Jack?
I don't know if I had a favorite episode. I didn't watch it all the time. I didn't watch that much.
Was it the one where Zach crashed the car, or Jesse got addicted to?
When she was addicted to caffeine pills, right?
Caffeine pills.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was my favorite one.
Or when Johnny Dakota came and tried to get everybody high.
Oh,
Johnny Dakota.
Dude, Johnny Dakota is the man.
Was that Keanu Reeves?
No.
Spoken as someone who's hung out with Johnny Dakota.
Johnny Dakota was a
wrong state.
Johnny Utah.
Was he north or south?
So Johnny was a famous film star that came to Bayside to shoot an anti-drug public service announcement.
Oh.
And the gang was just enchanted by him. But when they go to a party at his house, they discover he's a hypocrite.
Oh.
The episode title was called "There's No Hope with Dope."
No hope with dope. Just say no.
Wow.
That was one of those very special episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So was Johnny Dakota was he from Ohio State? So he played for Ohio State.
Keanu Reeves always plays for Ohio State.
Right. True. Yeah, that's what I was going for. Johnny Utah.
Thank
Johnny
you.
Dakota.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, in
buried that one.
The Replacements and in Johnny Utah both played for Ohio State. I can't remember his character in The Replacement.
Okay, so,
see it, hell, Johnny.
All right, fine. So, twist my rubber arm. We're going to talk about the best Saved by the Bell moments ever. What do you think? All right, I'm going to go through a top 10 list I just found.
Nice.
We'll start up at the top here. How about top 9? Because it's they mislabeled this. So
this already sounds like a Matt list.
So number 9, Kelly and Zach get married.
They got married?
Yeah. Let's see. So let's.
Well, that was like an after series movie, though.
It was. Yeah, you're right. So okay, this is a top 8. Man, this list is terrible.
I did not know that.
How about the Girls of Bayside calendar episode?
Girls of Bayside calendar. I don't know. That sounds kind of creepy now. Like we're getting into
You just want to snap her up for a contract to send her to Paris.
I don't know that one.
That's in the Zach Morris's Trash series that College Humor releases.
Mm-hmm. Which is fantastic, by the way.
That's amazing.
So the beach volleyball showdown. You remember when they hung over at Malibu Sands with Leah Remini and her dad, Mr. Carosi?
No.
Is that the one with?
It was the one with. They all worked at the beach club during the summer.
That was with the volleyball game with Maverick and Goose?
Nope. So here's the premise. Zach wanted Mr. Carosi. Carosi's 66 Ford Mustang, and if he can get it, what?
I'm just imagining this volleyball game against Maverick and Goose. I'm sorry, and Maverick and Goose are like, we're skins, and they're like, nobody said that we had to be.
Goose like, no man, I got to wear a t-shirt. No man.
Screech somehow accidentally causes a plane to take off.
Screech was not on that season.
Oh,
well, I guess because Screech in real life's a dick.
Yeah. So, spoiler alert.
They made him that way.
Win the match, and he gets the car. Pretty sweet. The next one, 6, Don't Do Drugs, Kids. That was from the aforementioned Johnny
Dakota.
Oh, how about the episode about Kelly's zit?
Oh, I don't. That sounds familiar.
I don't remember that one.
That was another very special episode.
Yeah, because it's not on her face. That's the funny part.
Did she ever
for
She's got to go into an ER to get it lanced. It's very embarrassing because she's got a crush on the doctor. I'm rewriting the script.
Okay, I would have watched that episode.
So the next one was the Miss Bayside pageant. So Zach had a lot of schemes throughout the seasons of Saved by the Bell, but it's hard to imagine anything better than getting a man, Screech that is, to win Miss Bayside. The talent competition highlighted Lisa playing the violin, Slater playing the drums, and then taking it off in the swimsuit competition. The episode ended with a black-eyed, tux-wearing Screech taking home the crown. Too bad Dustin Diamond ended up being so rude. Number 3, Jesse.
You know Mario Lopez is from San Diego.
Is he?
Yeah, it's right out there.
Jessie and her pills.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Now, I remember that episode because I watched it and stopped doing drugs right there on the spot.
Yep.
I went cold turkey. I said, I can't do it. I
this one's good. So the number 2, Lisa and Screech do the sprain.
The
sprain? Was that a dance?
Yeah, because when life handed Lisa Turtle lemons, she made lemonade with Screech, dancing at the max despite a sprained ankle, with Casey Kasem hosting a dance competition. Lisa hobbled and hopped her way to victory, wearing a pretty sweet red fringed jacket.
Yeah, I remember that jacket.
Yep. And then the rockumentary episode featuring Zack Attack.
Oh,
I remember that one.
Yeah.
I guess
forever.
I'm guessing I didn't watch a lot of episodes of Saved by the Bell.
Forever, always will be friends. No.
See, I watched the first season when it was a different setting.
When it took place in Indiana.
Well, they had the what was the teachers? She was in.
Bliss.
She was. What's the show? Was she the original Parent Trap? Yes.
Yeah.
But it was based around her. It was like
Haley Mills.
Yes, Haley. That's it, Haley Mills. I watched that season.
But it's called like so and so's class or
Miss Bliss.
Miss Bliss.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Then they got rid of her, kicked her to the curb.
And they just magically transformed from being in the middle of Indiana to being in the coastal California area.
It's a better location.
Indiana.
Yeah. I mean, what are you going to do for fun out here, you know?
Johnny Dakota is not coming to Indiana.
The show was originally called Good Morning, Miss Bliss.
That's what it was.
But it was also set in Vietnam.
Oh, Jesus.
Good morning, Miss Bliss.
Hang me, we'll have to get her open, hang me!
Oh, man. Robin Williams returns.
Oh, how many of the original people were in? I think Screech, right? Screech was in it?
Screech, Lisa, and Zach.
Zach were the only, yeah.
Yeah. So there's 2 actors got the axed from the show.
Who are these Pete Bests? Well, I think it was like Scooter and Jimmy or something.
Well, it's like Facts of Life was the same way. It was like in a boarding school.
Oh yeah, it was like a whole brothel.
They had like Molly Ringwald was one of the original.
I didn't mean brothel in that sense, but
I know. Yeah, we knew what you meant, Matt.
A coven.
So there was like 13 of them, and they cut them all down to like
Just
4 or 5, right?
Yeah.
I think when they moved it out of Vietnam, they also got rid of Niedermeyer.
Oh, Mr. Belding was on Good Morning, Miss Bliss as well.
Yeah. Yep, Mr. Belding was.
So there was Tina, Mikey, Nikki, and Milo all got cut from the show.
Did they go on to do anything else, the actors?
I'm telling you, I'll find out.
Milo was a class clown or something cool.
Let's see. Milo Williams was TK Carter.
That name sounds familiar.
I remember that.
Yeah.
He was, right? Am I don't know.
I think he was on Punky Brewster, too.
Huh. You'd know.
I would.
Punky Brewster.
He's on a different world for an episode or 2. No. Sinbad show.
What happened to Sinbad?
He was on the Steve Harvey show, apparently.
Well, to be fair, if he wouldn't have been kicked off Saved by the Bell, he probably
his career definitely did not take off.
So he got screwed by the Bell.
Sure. Heather Hopper who she played.
That's not her real name, is it?
Heather Hopper. Yep, it was played Nikki, and after
I'm a huge fan of some of her later movies.
She did have an episode of 90210. She's in The Shield. Their character on The Shield is known. She is known as the 2-bit whore.
So Heather Hopper, the 2-bit whore.
Is this a recurring character?
Oh my gosh! Her career went down the hill too.
I wonder what that backstory of that character is.
Oh my goodness gracious! Let's see. How about Mikey Gonzalez, played by Max Batimo?
Batimo?
Oh yeah,
where are they getting these names?
Dude, he kind of gave it up after that. He was on nothing. So, poor guy.
Poor Manny Botno.
He's probably like doing well, like selling car insurance to
No, he's got a podcast.
Yeah,
he probably auditioned for 2-bit whore, but didn't get the role.
That's a good point.
I'm just going to give up now.
We're giving it to the Hopper chick, okay?
Oh, Brian Austin Green was on an episode. Interesting. Jaleel White made an episode.
Did he do that?
He did. He smelled the cheese. Yeah, so it looks like if you were involved with Good Morning Miss Bliss and you didn't make the cut, you kind of fell off the face of the earth.
Basically, it killed you.
Yeah.
Your acting career for good.
Exactly. Good Morning Miss Bliss, Good Night Career.
I wonder if we can get one of them on the podcast.
Episode title.
Just ask them if their episodes suck.
Oh, hey, I'm taking notes.
Matt is.
There you go.
Well, if I see any of them at any of those autograph shows I go to, I'll see if I can get them to call in.
There you go, Matt. Episode title is Good Morning Miss Bliss, Good Night Career.
I've got a mind like a steel trap. Got it.
Nice.
Yeah, actually, when we were waiting in line to meet Tiffany Amber Thiessen, I thought it would be funny to go up to her and say, like something like, "I loved you in Degrassi."
Into what?
Degrassi.
You were so great with Drake.
What did you
JP sent me a message on Facebook, and he got me excited for a hot second because he told me he shared a picture of my wife and my friends as we dressed up as Saved by the Bell characters last Halloween, but alas, he did not actually.
Oh, you lied.
I did.
That's right. You were Saved by the Bell last year. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Was anyone dressed up as one of these characters that didn't make the cut?
That's what he's going as this year.
I think this year I'm going to go as Heather Hopper.
The 2-bit whore.
You'll find me on any corner.
Well, that's really sad. Anything else you guys been watching lately? Movies or TV?
No.
Oh,
yeah, I did. I tried watching Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because everyone says how cool that movie is.
But it didn't go so well?
Dude, it sucked.
Oh.
I agree.
I've never seen it.
It was dumb. I actually liked the Ant-Man movie. I thought that was a good flick. It was fun. This one just felt. I felt like I was doing chores to just watching it. It was one of those things where I actually didn't even finish it. I turned it off. I was just so like, I don't even want to watch this anymore. But I think I'm in a minority in that. People seem to love that movie. I just wasn't for me.
Okay.
Never seen it.
Like if I was in a theater, I wouldn't have walked out. If in my living room, I would turn it off.
Have you ever walked out on a movie?
I have.
I have also.
Yep. I walked out of Troy. Yeah, with
yeah, I know. I watched it. I liked it.
Yeah, with Brad Pitt.
Terrible movie.
Never seen it.
And I walked out of.
I for the record, I like Troy.
For the record, I wanted to walk out of.
Ironically, I walked out of another Brad Pitt movie.
Why do you hate Brad Pitt?
Because it's a terrible flick. What was the movie where he?
Fight Club.
So this is kind of beyond the statute of limitations here, but he dies in the movie.
Deadpool 2?
Meet
Benjamin Button. I like that Deadpool 2. That's a good one.
Meet Mr. Black or something. Meet Joe Black.
Meet Joe Black.
Yeah, I walked out of that movie.
Spoiler.
Well, he dies like literally the first 10 seconds.
Well, I guess is that starring Brad Pitt?
It's kind of in the trailer, I think.
Yeah, he gets screamed by it.
Like if I remember. You walked out of that movie?
I did.
It's a long movie too, if I remember. It's like a 2 hour or 2 hours of standard. But I mean, I think it's like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I haven't left that when I was boring. That's it.
I walked out of the Three Stooges.
How old are you?
44.
Sure.
I walked out of the Three Stooges. I actually walked out of what was that movie called? 72 Hours.
Well, who wouldn't walk? That's a
100
long time for a movie. Oh, where he cuts off his arm.
Where he cuts off his arm. I had to walk out during that part. I couldn't take it.
120 hours.
120 hours.
If he had a sharper knife, it'd been 118.
Oh yeah, James Franco,
right? Yeah, I
You walked out of Forrest Gump or something. No, I think I had to go somewhere, so I had to leave the movie theater. But I walked out on Forrest Gump. Technically, yeah.
Really?
I had to be somewhere or something. So I'd gone into the movie theater like thinking, oh, I can, but then yeah.
You didn't time it right.
I didn't.
What part did you walk out of? What part was it? Was he playing ping pong yet?
I don't know. He was on a bench.
Did he have to pee?
I can't. It's too far to remember back that far.
Drinking 85 Dr. Peppers.
Did the feather land yet?
That's a good question. Okay, one movie I did watch over the.
Wait! Have you finished? Have you finished it ever?
Yeah, no, I saw the end of Forrest Gump. It's basically like the end of Castaway. I saw another movie.
It's not the same.
Right, but kinda. So I watched "Won't You Be My Neighbor" over the weekend. So
I saw that. Yeah, I like that.
That was really good.
What's that about?
It's about Mr. Rogers. It's a documentary about Fred Rogers and kind of his life. It was really powerful, and I think if you don't get at least a little misty-eyed, you're not human.
So do I have to watch this now so I don't cry?
No, I don't know. There's just surprising moments where
Well,
there were surprising moments, specifically they showed the Challenger explosion, and man, it just hit me out of nowhere because they were showing the kids watching it, and I was like, oh my god, never seen this footage before.
I mean,
really powerful.
It hurt the teachers' kids, right?
Yeah. It was.
I watched that with my entire school in the cafeteria.
Yeah, it took me back. I don't know. I mean, it was one of those moments that took me by surprise. But it's a very tender, sweet, and honest movie. I really liked it. So,
What's it on?
I think we just rented it.
Okay.
So I don't think it's on anything right now.
Okay.
But they are making a movie with Tom Hanks and Colin Hanks as Fred Rogers.
Yeah, Tom Hanks has to do every biography now. Is that the thing?
And they're also making a movie, and Michelle Williams is going to be playing Kristen McAuliffe for the Challenger. It's going to be a Challenger movie.
Oh, wow. God. I don't know if I can watch that after.
The worst part is they think they were still alive when they were coming back down.
Mm.
That they survived the initial explosion.
Hmm.
That was when I heard a theory about that a few years ago.
Huh.
There was a made-for-TV movie about the Challenger, I think, with Karen Allen playing Kristen McAuliffe. I mean, years ago, obviously.
Yeah, I remember that.
Do you remember that?
I do. Yeah. Growing up in Massachusetts, we had a lot of focus on that, too, because she was the for those who some of the people who may not, millennial age may not understand the whole Challenger implications in schools and education, is that was a special mission in which they were able to bring school teachers on a space shuttle launch. And Krista McAuliffe was actually from the town I went to school, Framingham, and she also went to Framingham State College, where I went to school. Because that Framingham State College is one of the first what they call normal schools in the country, where normal schools where people go to become teachers. But so she's a graduate of the same college I went to. She lived in that town, and she was definitely a local legend. I remember how big of a deal that was to my parents were telling me about how amazing that was. That somebody from, when I grew up an hour and a half west of there, but how important it was, and that's why. Specifically with that launch, I remember they had all of the schools had all of the kids get together and watch because it was this big deal where NASA was sending,
Well, she was going to do a lesson. She was going to do a lesson.
Teach a lesson from space. And it was such a big deal for all the schools, and like they had like the entire effing school in the school cafeteria.
And imagine that across America, like all the schools.
I was in kindergarten.
I mean, it just
And I remember
I was working.
I was in kindergarten when it happened. I remember it vividly. And it's one of those things where I'll never forget that happening, right? And it's one of those where were you when type of scenarios. And I think anybody from our generation and older can probably pinpoint exactly where they were.
They turned off the TV pretty quickly, and we moved on. So, I was in 5th grade, and it was very shocking.
It was actually, I had learned also that there was a documentary called I Am Big Bird about Carol Spinney, who plays Big Bird.
Right, she was going to.
He was going to be on. Yeah. He was going to be on the Challenger, and they decided to scrap that because the costume wouldn't fit or something like that.
Yeah.
But wow.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, didn't he turn out to be like not so good of a person later in life? And that was
Carol
Elmo.
Spinney?
That was Elmo.
That was Elmo. Well, Mr. Rogers was a sniper.
I hate Elmo.
Wait, what? Mr. Rogers was what?
You're getting
Mr. Rogers
in my crosshairs. You're
was a
getting in my
sniper?
crosshairs.
We don't talk about that in the. They don't talk about that.
You ever heard that? Yeah, that's why he always wore the sweater, because he had all the kills. Tattoos.
No, they disprove that in the documentary, JP.
Get out of my sight. Get out of my sight. Should be my target.
They do play some of the spoofs too on the documentary.
Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood, which is, I think, I got to be honest, I think it's better than Mr. Rogers.
Well,
false.
It's pretty amazing. Like, it breaks down like some of the things that he innovated as far as teaching to kids, and I don't unfortunately think that it could work today, because back in that day there was only like 4 channels, so you were really limited as a kid.
Yeah, there were times you were forced to watch PBS.
Well,
I'm being serious.
They had kid programming on during the day, which was aimed at education and not just selling you something. So that was an important aspect of it.
Well, he played a huge role in what was that congressional hearing to get funding for?
Yeah. Oh, sure.
And they play that too. It's really powerful. I recommend seeing if you're down about the world today. It is a definitely, like, it brought me some light and levity.
Once you have that light and levity, you'll realize that the current administration has since removed that funding. So
it is.
Doesn't he say at the hearing, "I like trolleys. Do you like trolleys?" Something like that. It was something like that.
I believe so.
Okay,
I believe
but
no, he actually makes a connection with the senator.
What's interesting is that, like, people have kids nowadays in the last 5-10 years, and Jack, you can probably test this being with Zach and all being old.
I knew what
Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood
Mm-hmm.
is a cartoon that's out right now on which probably PBS. Yeah, it's on PBS. And Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood is a animated series based upon the characters,
Mr. Rogers' character,
from what do you call it? Not Neverland.
Land of Make Believe.
Land of Make Believe. So it's a cartoon based upon all those characters, which is crazy. So my daughter got to know all that stuff, and then I started introducing her to watching on PBS or YouTube Kids. I showed her some of the old episodes of Mr. Rogers, and it was amazing to see like her just instantly start making these connections. It took her a minute to realize that, hey, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood was first. She thought her show was first, No,
mine was first.
And then she started just getting into it and started watching it. And like I started watching episodes that I remembered watching as a kid. And that got me emotional to see that happen. Yeah. I can't imagine how I'll be when I watch that.
I really highly recommend it.
I would think Mr. Rogers would play well, like you're saying with your daughter. I think it would just be one of those shows that kids could watch with. It doesn't have to be modernized or anything like that.
Right.
Yeah, I mean that show took such huge leaps, right? So they're teaching kids on how to deal with like emotions.
Mm-hmm.
I remember watching a special on it. I don't know. This might have been part of the documentary too. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But it helped kids deal with things like split parents, like divorce and all that stuff too. It was like it took on such a different meaning for television in its time. Like it actually helped kids understand things and grow up to be good people, which I thought was just amazing.
Mommy has left your daddy. Mommy has left. Is that how the song went?
No, and there's not always songs, but there's. See how you're kind of bringing this around, but
that's how my mother broke the news.
Nice.
Won't you be mine? No, I won't.
I guess in more lighthearted 80s nostalgia, since we're walking down that lane, Chris, I took your suggestion and I watched The Power of Grayskull. Really enjoyed that documentary. That was another enjoyable documentary.
Nice.
So really fun stuff throughout that whole thing. I mean, if you enjoyed the toys that made us episode, this goes even further.
Absolutely.
With interviews with Dolph Lundgren.
Lundgren. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting to hear his take on the movie. And
well, he's in the new Creed. Was it Creed? Rocky 8, whatever. He's in the new movie.
Oh, okay.
Creed, because what happens is Creed is fighting his son.
Huh. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yes. There's an extended trailer.
So it's Ivan Drago and his son.
Drago, his son, is fighting Creed. What's his first name?
Creed. Apollo?
No.
JP Creed.
JP Creed. Mr. Rogers Creed. I'm gonna punch you in the face. Anyway.
Or Creed.
Or Creed. Creed Hopper. Anyway, it looks like a good. I like the Rocky series, so I'm gonna go watch it, of course.
Now I've heard. I'll throw this at you. I've heard this potential rumor. It's not a spoiler. It's not true. But what if the story is that he fights Creed, and during his first fight with Drago's son, that's when Rocky dies. So Drago decides to come over and help Creed fight his own son.
Huh?
Oh.
So Rocky dies in this movie?
Something I've heard this.
JP, if that happens, I will be so pissed at you.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know if it's true or not, but this is, I think.
Well, you just said it wasn't true.
I heard that Han Solo comes in and actually shoots Rocky, and then Rocky, as he's dying, punches.
You really do now.
Prime.
You want a million shot.
I think I heard it on like a Kevin Smith interview, or it was his idea that
right.
he.
Okay, so you're backtracking it.
Right. That Drago doesn't like. He doesn't like the way his son is fighting or what he stands for. So
Wait,
he steps in.
We're talking about Drago, who is taking steroids and
right.
Okay.
Right.
Of course he's anti.
Yeah, I wonder what his son's done.
But that was before.
He was
before.
And all of a sudden, Conor McGregor comes out and he gets into a rumble with some other Russian fighters.
Yeah, there you go.
I just hope that.
Which, by the way, did you guys watch that?
What?
I saw the highlights.
Yeah, and I saw it.
So my buddy got the pay-per-view. That was incredible. That entire card was an amazing entertainment. Anywho, no UFC fans.
Well, how bad did McGregor get beat? I saw.
He got his ass kicked.
He's already asked for a rematch. Though.
Of course he did. McGregor got lit up like a Christmas tree. He really did. But it was a good fight. I mean, he sat there and took a beating for the longest time, and then ended up tapping out from a chokehold. But all the other fights were amazing. Like the first fight of the night was the women's lightweight belt, and it was one of the best. I mean, I'm not a UFC person. I'm not. I don't follow like Ultimate Fighting, but like there's so much hype around this one. It's like my buddy wanted to get it, so we watched it. And I was watching it, but it is amazing the strength and conditioning and the training these guys and girls go through. It was an absolutely incredibly entertaining few matches to watch.
Well, I've watched a few fights, and you see how football players later on in life are suffering. Boxers, there's no way these guys. It's got to be worse. I mean, they're getting kicked in the head.
Oh yeah, they're just getting.
There's got to be. Up. I mean, I don't know what. Because it's just it's basically a new sport. So there's no study on these guys later on in life, guys and gals later on in life. But
it's been around for like 20 years.
I know, but still, it's probably not enough time to get a survey enough to. Yeah. But I can't imagine these people living long after they're done.
Yeah, it was bad. But then there's the whole fiasco. If you haven't seen the news, you can probably check that anywhere. Yeah. But all the after the match hijinks. But
that was dangerous. So there was a lot of. Someone in the audience could have got hurt.
Sure.
Hey, they live their life like a candle in the wind. Those players.
I caught the end after the fight when McGregor gave that speech that ended the Cold War.
Oh.
Well, that's what happens in this one. The Cold War starts up again.
Yeah, I just hope that if Rocky does die,
that's what Drago's mad about. The Cold War starts over again.
All right, I'm just hoping that if Rocky does die, he at least comes back as a Force ghost. So helps Creed win the match.
Well, he had cancer in the last one, right?
He has to die in this one. He's gonna. That's my prediction.
Well, you've spoiled us all, so I guess.
No,
it's my prediction. He's gonna die.
Dippy, is that your prediction or is that Kevin Smith's prediction?
I heard that keeps changing all the time, Mister.
Is that from the script?
That's what Jay
tell you. He was supposed to die in the fifth one.
Yeah,
but the audience they tested it and everyone got pissed. And that's when they came up. I don't know Bell. That's when he gets back up and he starts fighting it.
Rock.
I think in this one, what kills him is Drago makes him watch Masters of the Universe.
I know he's making another Rambo.
Huh.
I love First Blood, but I never got into the whole Rambo's thing. I thought that was a little over the top.
Yeah.
First Blood was believable.
First Blood was believable, and it was really, a powerful kind of story about.
It was.
Yeah, a Vietnam vet who comes back.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm reading the synopsis.
The Vietnam. The Rambo First Blood was completely separate and had nothing to do with any of the other Rambos.
Yeah, I had trouble with the other Rambos. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got a story to tell you guys. I found some old emails that people have been sending us.
Okay. How old are they, Jack?
Some are old. Now, to be fair to me, I haven't been on that email since Jay was on the show.
So let me ask a clarifying question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is what you're saying is this what you're saying? ... Are you saying that we have been asking people for the last however many years to fire off emails to us and reach out and talk to us in the show? And we have just been disgruntled podcast hosts for that exact same period of time because we thought that no one gave a damn.
It could be.
But what you're telling us now is that they've been doing it all along.
It could be why we're dropping a listenership. I don't know. I don't know. Well, they were. I have not checked these emails. This email account since. And the only reason I did is because one was sent to Jay and Jack TV and forwarded there, and I saw it. I go, well, let me check. I go, wow, there's a few emails here.
So what is the Ramblecast email, by the way?
It's rambleafterdark@gmail.com. That's the one I checked. Rambleafterdark@gmail.com.
Terrible that I didn't know that.
I didn't know it because the call we got last week from John, he sent me a note and said, man, you really butchered my call. I said, well, to be fair, I can't play because right now I don't have a mixer, so I can't play any calls the way we record. So we're just going to do it this way. So I said, send another email in. I go, you won Matt's original. And it was like, yeah, big deal.
What?
Just kidding. I'm kidding, Matt.
John, if you don't want this lovely drawing,
That's pretty
everything
good.
checks out,
Nice. So what are you working on today?
I've had so many misstarts, this whole
A young picture of Kelly.
This whole wall thing's been on my mind.
Okay.
I don't know. I started to draw your driveway at some point, but that didn't go anywhere.
Oh, what's the wall from?
I want to see Heather Hopper.
I don't know. We live in a wall society, man. Think about it.
I was told to read anything.
I'm woke, man.
I'm lucky I can find emails.
Oh, and then, those fighters, they lived their life like a candle in the wind.
I think that's a winner right there.
Okay,
That's a winner.
Yeah.
And we got to come up with some other way because people that have given reviews, they're just all whining and complaining. It's become like I can't take it anymore.
All right, let's hear some of these emails. Maybe we can find an old school legend and fire them up.
I'm just kidding about the whining and complaining.
Dear Jay, Jack, and Taffy.
All right, this one's from John E. Last week he sent the phone call that I kind of butchered. Hey, let's try this again. Here's how to make the perfect omelet. And I don't know what we were talking about last week, but it had nothing to do with an omelet. You cook ground beef, American cheese, onions, pickles, ketchup, mustard, and eggs. Break the eggs and whisk them, pour them into a frying pan just like any other omelet. Add beef, cheese, and onions. Fold when cooked. Place on top with pickles, ketchup, and mustard. Forget the mustard. The topping makes it taste like a cheeseburger. John from Houston. So that's what John was saying. I don't think we were in close to that last week.
John, I think I got to take this drawing back. I wholeheartedly disagree with this ketchup with eggs, and I don't know what you're doing. I'm confused. I'm really baffled.
John, that is actually in page 6 of Tiffany Amber Thiessen's cookbook.
Nice callback.
I forgot I got to go on a different site because if I go on a different email. Diabetes. I may not be able to read these other emails. I didn't bring my iPad.
Oh, come on. You teased us.
Diabetes. Well, the only way I can go on there is
diabetes.
Diabetes. Let's see here.
What if you open up a different browser window?
Well, I'm trying that.
Oh, okay. All right.
I got $10 listed. So here's what we'll do. While Jack's trying to figure out how to use the inner tubes of the internet,
try Netscape.
We're going to go ahead and get a Nick poll update.
Oh, great!
What is Nick doing in Iceland at 1:30 in the morning? We have a lot of options here. So currently in the lead is mansplaining states' rights, not slavery, was the root cause of civil war. That's actually got 11 votes.
Wow.
But yes, we have a couple extra ones here. So looking for elves, that's what I would do in Iceland, says Will. And then Matt Treist says trying to justify his taste in movies after revealing he's a fan of the Boondock Saints.
Jeez.
Matt, that's just not cool, dude. Matt, not cool, Matt.
All right, I'm going to try something. I might get booted off, though. I might have to come back.
Okay.
All right. So
we'll see you around the side of the moon, man.
All right. So I'm trying this. Let's see.
I'm going to lose my $10 bet. Or win my $10 bet.
What about Jack restarting his computer for the
Jack disappearing or canceling the show out?
By the way,
he's still here.
Oh, okay.
I can hear you.
All right. We'll wait for you to leave.
Jack, try inserting the AOL CD.
Yeah, you're running out of free hours, Jack.
I get 800 free hours with that thing.
Well, unfortunately, we only have 7 more minutes of free Chris. So
okay, all right, I'm on there. We got on there.
Yes,
I did it. I was able to do it. I'm so happy.
He can rub his belly and pat his head at the same time, gentlemen.
All right, this one is from Desiree.
Des.
And this was back on July 6th. Now, to be fair to me, going back to this
2016.
This is the time I almost died. Remember, this is about the time I almost died.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think I should get a little bit of slack.
Are you trying to deflect some of this criticism, Jack?
I'll show the video.
No.
Okay. So back up, people.
I will believe you if you show me a calendar, but
Did Jack just die?
All right, this one's from Desiree. Dear Ramblecast, I'm writing you today because Jack refuses to play my voicemails. What's a poor girl to do? Anyway, I'm glad that you're okay, Jack. Feigning is not fun. See, someone cares about me. I've done it a time or two. I used to faint every year when I had a TB test when I was a kid. They would line us up in the hallway every school year, and give us a test, and then line us back up in the hallway. Every year I would look at the little circle of the needle mark on me and pass out. That never has fazed me. What about you guys?
Never studied for my TB
you
test.
interrupted Desiree's email to complain about her?
No, I'm just saying that the only thing we ever lined up for, I think, was for polio or
Scoliosis.
smallpox or something.
Jack's always been used to a little prick.
That's funny. Anyway, one time when my dad was in the Army, he fainted. They were standing at attention having an inspection, and he passed out. He stayed at attention the whole way down. That's not funny, but it is funny. So the way the whole way down to the asphalt. The photographer who was there caught it on film, and his Army pals made him a nice frame photo and wrote comments making fun of him. He still has the photo there. That's dedication. That's
And what a cool photograph.
Yeah.
I have a good imagination of that, what that would be like.
Well, why don't you draw one right now, Matt? I also can't believe that none of you, other than Matt, have played car bingo.
Yes!
I actually
Justification.
I don't
Thank you,
remember.
Wait, car
Desiree.
bingo?
I don't even remember this.
Drawings for you, Desiree. You just won it.
I actually just picked up a car bingo set from the dollar store about a month ago. Photo attached. I don't see no photo. Oh, there it is. It's down there. Okay.
Oh, man.
My kids love to play it on trips, even though two of them are adults now. It can make the trip seem a lot shorter. Love you guys. Love the show. Bring back Tim Dez.
I love you, Des.
And she has I see. You have like a speed 55, well, speed limit 55, rest area, stop. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, it sounds like fun.
Car bingo.
Car bingo.
It's a thing.
I've seen roadkill bingo.
I play conference call bingo. That's fun.
Ooh.
Sorry.
We have
That's
another one.
That's like the free center circle.
We have another one from Des from August 13th.
Hey, guys. Why won't you read my email?
Well, kind of.
I've changed my mind about car bingo. I take it back.
It's Screw Jack bingo. Hey guys, I don't know if you ever get this because my feedback has not been showing up on the podcast. But I thought I'd try. I feel so bad. I mean, again, it's rambleafterdark@gmail.com.
Jack, I'm going to suggest that perhaps maybe access to the email is open to more than you.
But I'm cool with that. I have no problem.
My fingers is touching my nose. Okay. I vote Matt.
Okay.
But no. I do the drawing. That's my thing.
I drew the drawing. Well, Chris right now isn't doing anything, so I guess we give it to Chris. If you are really interested in streaming on Twitch, you should talk to Skylar. She streams when she plays video games. She said that there are 1/2 of the subscriptions fees per subscriber, which is $4.99 a month. Any of the donations to your PayPal or whatever service you set up for donations, she has a couple of people give her $200 to $300 donations. Wow.
Really?
She doesn't do it full time, so she doesn't make a whole lot, but she has quite a few subscribers. Send her a message on Facebook or something. I think she's on Facebook group still. If you need info about it. Love you guys. Des, nothing about Tim on this one.
P.S. Hope you guys are still in business.
That's pretty. There's a couple of them saved for Nick because they're about Nick.
I can answer for him.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
This one's from Joanne with a plan. This was from July 30th. So, to be fair, it's not even 3 months, right? September, August, September, October.
Yeah, it's only a quarter of a year.
Yeah, so I really can't complain too much. All right, Jay wasn't here in July.
She's hopeful.
Is this 2018?
2017.
Okay. To Jay, Matt, and those other guys.
Wow.
Well, Jay, Chris, we don't get listed.
What the hell?
And Jay's not even on the show anymore. I'm a little upset.
Thanks, Joanne.
Hit delete.
I might.
No, she's a patron.
No, I might give this email another month. All right, and about those other guys, you know that guy who's his name from LA dude. Stop trying to put on a Southern accent. It just isn't real enough. Well, I probably should have saved this for Nick when he's here.
But he is here.
Okay, he is here. Be proud of your LA heritage. I mean, you have such a great football spirit. There are teams flocking to play in LA. Oh, that's not funny, Joanne. That's not funny. That's not funny. Now I'm mad.
I appreciate that email much more now.
It's growing on me.
Yeah, it's growing on me too, like fungus. Okay, so I have to admit, I email a lot more to the broadcast. Huh.
But I wonder if they read her emails.
Oh, they probably do. They're a bunch of brown noses over there. But I listen to the whole enchilada and look forward to the Ramblecast almost as much as the broadcast. Actually, it's pretty equal. I want to thank you guys for the shout out on the last episode. I do hope it raised awareness of the need to show support for entertainment you all provide, except Matt.
What?
I just threw that in.
Oh, okay.
I'm happy we have more people join the Patrons group, and I hope it will continue to grow. Regardless of how many end up joining in May, I'm changing my level so I can get yet another name at the end of the podcast. I mean,
That's right.
I wouldn't want it to be the same list as a creepy mailman. Speaking to the broadcast, I realized I was being sexist. Well. All right, I'm done. I recommended a comedy show for them to watch, and I believe they have already done so. And I really cannot wait to hear their recommendations. But because, let's just say, wee bit of feminist side, I did not think of you all. But now I have. So I think it'd be great if you guys checked out the hour, watch Nanette on Netflix. Take an hour and watch Nanette on Netflix.
Nanette.
Okay.
They pulled that off in August.
Okay. So what you're saying, we're behind? The comedian is Hannah Gadsby.
Okay.
At times it's utterly hilarious, and at other times I cried and I end up sobbing. Well, do I want to laugh or do I want to cry? Now, I'm not looking to find out how many of you can.
Oh, yes. I saw a bit of this. This is actually really good.
Now, I'm not looking to. You did see it?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see the whole thing. I saw a clip of it. One of my employees is watching, and I was watching over the shoulder.
It's just an hour episode?
Yeah, so she
Sure.
Hannah Gadsby is a stand-up comic.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a stand-up routine, but it's actually very, very thought-provoking. So she takes like the stage of comedy and makes it a good discussion point and talks a lot about sexuality and LGBTQ and how our society is, well, more or less
messed up.
Needs some reshaping.
All right. Now, I'm not looking to find out how many of you can watch it or not at least come close to tears. But I would think a male perspective on her message and her delivery of those messages would be great discussion.
Yes, I will watch that for next week.
And I do respect the views and thoughts of Jack, Matt, Chris, and Nick. You see, I can remember those guys without even with name tags. Keep on rambling, Joanne, with a plan.
Nice. I'll watch that for next week, Joanne.
Yeah, I've written that down. I will watch that. I think the other ones are Nick involved, so we'll wait and save those for Nick.
Nice.
Okay.
Hey, well, it's good to hear people are actually writing.
Yeah, and now that we know the email, and I'm going to put it in the show notes for this week.
And Chris will be checking every week. Oh, he left!
He did say he had to go at 11, so.
Now, JP, before we forget, what does JP stand for?
Jerry Phillip.
Is it really Jerry Phillip?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Groundbreaking information here. I feel like Barbara Wolf.
Man, remind me not to give you any secrets. You popped that out without any pressure at all. There was no torture. Jerry Phillips.
That's it.
Do you ever go by Jerry? Is it always do people know you as JP?
I actually, a lot of people ask me that, and to me, I won't turn around if I hear somebody yell Jerry. It just doesn't feel right.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Chris is back. Let's not tell him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we learned what JP actually stands for while you were gone, Chris.
Yep, we know now.
Oh, well.
We do.
You're going to have to listen to the podcast to find out.
So you're going to skip all the way to the very end and just back up.
And
Yeah,
that's
I'm just going to call him JP.
He will. We also learned that he will actually really only respond to JP, and not.
Jesus puke.
Wow.
yeah, but that's how they got the Q and the Z in my first name. It's just an incredible story.
Jesus puke. Where'd you come up with that name?
I don't know.
It's. I think it's a little bit more obvious than that. It's Johnny Pennsylvania because he's from New Jersey, but he's actually in
Johnny Pensacola.
Chris, my family's Jewish. Do you think we're really Jesus puke?
That's kind of why I said it.
Oh my God.
I'm sticking with Jersey popcorn. That's what I get on the pier.
Jersey popcorn, like taffy, you get from Utah. You get from Salt Lake.
Salt Lake City.
Was that you that sent that question in, JP?
That was me.
Yeah. If you don't, let me give you, if you guys didn't ever listen to the Married Man Show, we used to do trivia questions between Jay and Warren Taffy. And JP sent a question, where's the best Warren, something about taffy.
Where it was invented, right?
Where it was invented.
Yeah.
And so
Saltwater taffy.
Dell came up with, saltwater taffy has to be Salt Lake City, Utah.
Isn't it? Where is it?
Atlantic City.
Yeah,
Atlantic City.
I don't know that.
But Taffy, being the brain surgeon he is, said Salt Lake City, Utah.
Not a terrible guess.
That's a horrible guess. Come on. Terrible. Don't defend it.
Jersey Shore. Yeah, 1880s. How about that?
That's it. That's all I got.
All right,
Nice.
sounds good. And for anybody that does still have a drawing that they need from me, you can email actually our show.
Well, you have an email account.
Yeah, so you can email
Chris will be checking each week.
you can email the ramblecastafterdark@gmail.com. That is the email. And if you're still looking for a Halloween, costume, check out Amazon.com/JanJack. For all your Amazon shopping needs, a little bit goes our way. And
I'm going as Jesus puke.
hey, if you do, you better get in your orders quick because the prices just keep going up, and you better get it right now, so you don't have to wait for shipping. So.
Exactly.
And make sure that it's not coming from a that it's like a 2 or 3 week wait because Halloween's coming around the corner, people.
Coming around the corner when we come.
You should email your comments now about spring 2019.
So, are you giving the drawings away to the people that sent emails today? Is that what you're doing?
Well, I'm giving this one away to Desiree.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Because she had 2 and she had to wait that seemed the longest.
Yeah.
Okay.
And next week I'll do I don't
even know if Des is still listening because
true. That is true.
The worst part is she sent me a thing, asked me for the phone. I said, "Well, can you send an email for him because I can't play the calls."
This is an apology.
So
we live our lives like a candle in the wind.
That's a nice one.
It's a lot of shading on that one, so hopefully it didn't.
A lot of extra work. A lot of extra work, man.
Well,
So see, you can get it. You can get it with a review. You can get it with an email.
Don't send her the drawing for 3 months.
No, I actually have a stack that are ready to go out, so I will get those out to Drake, who texted me his email or his address earlier, and so I also have Angela's ready to go out. So
You want me to send John a message saying, "Hey, we need."
Yeah. So, anyway, no, it's kind of a fun little addition to the Ramblecast that I enjoy, and hopefully our listeners enjoy as well. So, and if you like to donate to the show at any point, you can become a patron.
Exactly. Right? We're looking for our first $1 million donor. We take anything from $1 to $1 million. We're not picky. We thank all our patrons, but right now we're going to thank Tax from Tokyo, Eckhart Rickner Glaffelder, Maggie the Magnificent, Ed the Creepy Letter Carrier, and Joanne with the late email and the plan. Thanks for doing what you do, and thanks for all our patrons, and thanks for JP for filling in with Nick.
JP.
Filling in for Nick.
Get out! It's a fun shooting.
It was my pleasure. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for having me.
Hey, maybe you can, because Chris is leaving here in a couple weeks, right, Chris?
Yeah, I'll be gone the week of Halloween in the lovely city of San Francisco.
So maybe you can take Chris's spot that week and give us what JP really stands for.
Jesus puke.
Jesus puke.
I cannot make the episode title. I just feel like we can't deal with that.
No, you can't. No. Well, now that we have an email, we can't.
I'm going to change my Halloween costume. I'm just going to get one of those stickers that says "Hello, my name is."
Oh, there you go.
That's all I got, guys. Great show. 1 in a million.
Oh, you can't steal it from me.
Did it.
All right. Great show, kids. Don't get cocky.
Hasta luego.
And goodbye. You got anything, JP?
Goodbye, Miss Bliss from Vietnam.